So we're doing a comparison between these super bright white lights and these full spectrum yellow tinted lights. I used to have the blurple lights, but I sold those. I don't like the color that they give off personally. This is in a spare room of mine that I use for a lot of other things, and the color just changed the atmosphere too much. These are both LED. These are the super brights. They're both by Barrina, and I just wanted to do a little comparison with this batch of lettuce. So both rows were just planted right now at the same time with the same amount of nutrients. I used Texas tomato food. I put a tablespoon in each container, and these are, I believe, 7-quart plastic shoe boxes. And then I did a variety of lettuces so we can compare how each one looks. We have a traditional romaine, a spotty troutback that has a red, like freckling to it, and then a red romaine. And so I have three varieties on each row, and identical. They're all placed in the identical position so that we can see how they turn out, if there's any difference in the coloration. These full spectrum are about twice the price of these bright white lights, and so I thought it'd be interesting to see if we feel like it's worth the price. All right, today's day 16. Here are our super brights lettuces that are growing under super bright Barrina lights. They're looking pretty good, and as you can see, this spotty troutback actually has spots, so it doesn't seem like the super brights are causing any discoloration. So this is a red romaine. I can see a little redness to the red romaine. So one of the things I was worried about was that the super brights wouldn't show the colors as well, because it's not a full spectrum light. But obviously, like with the spotty troutback, you can see the spots on those. But now let me show you the full spectrum lights down here. So these are the lettuces grown in the full spectrum lights. Again, you can see they have spots. These spotty troutback lettuce actually have spots on them. These are romaine. Here's a red romaine. Maybe you can tell that's got a little red tinge to it. And here's a nice spotty trout back here. But one of the main differences that I wanted to point out is that it really does appear that the super brights are smaller plants. Just scanning along here, you can kind of see they look nice and healthy. So these are a little over 2 weeks old. We did have a couple that did not sprout, but that's a normal situation, so not because of the lights. So those are the super bright lettuces. Like I said, they look super healthy and nothing's wrong with them. But when I come down here to the full spectrum lights, they are significantly fuller and taller. Especially this one in the way back. So we'll keep an eye on things and see how they go with this experiment. We are 1 day shy of 4 weeks of growth for these lettuces using the Kratky method. And this row here is under the Barrina super bright white lights, looking nice and healthy. And this row here is under the Barrina Full Spectrum Lights. I have links below to both of these. And again, this is a very unscientific experiment. In my opinion, just on a first glance, I think maybe you'll agree, the full spectrum plants have grown bigger in the exact same amount of time. I was impressed to see that even under the super brights, the spotty troutback picked up a lot of coloration. You can kind of see the freckles of red on these leaves, and then this is the red romaine, picked up the red coloration on those lettuces as well. And in comparison, they are also well colored. I was thinking that I wouldn't get as good coloration under the super brights since they weren't full spectrum, but they look great. So In my experience, when I purchased these lights, the super brights here are about half the price as the full spectrum. So I do think that they're both still pretty economical. Cost-wise, the Barrina lights have always come across as a lot more economical choice, but I just wanted to give you kind of a rundown on the difference between buying a super bright and buying a full spectrum as far as the plant growth. So it's really up to you and your budget. Super brights work absolutely fine in my opinion. The plants look healthy and coloration is fantastic. And the full spectrum, the growth rate is a little bit increased. This plant I've actually already harvested some of the leaves off of the outer leaves. So there you have it. I'd love to know your opinion or the lights that you're using, or if you've done your own comparison. Always interested in a different perspective. So let me know how your growing is going. And if you have any questions, be sure to drop them below in the comments. Have a good one, guys.